Datology coach and character analysis podcast. Hello, Sarah.
Hi.
Hi. So for this episode, I'm using it for both my Substacks because it's sort of a special episode, Sarah. I want to talk about, what'd you say?
A combo.
A combo.
Yeah, it's like a pizza on the inside, pretzel on the outside.
So I posted about this earlier this week on the Substack about this live event on TikTok that this woman named Samantha Aquilina did. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'll make sure her name is in the notes.
Okay.
And she did this live, and I don't know if she was stoned. I don't know if she was high. I don't know what the fucking story was. But she had this creator on named Brat Norton. And Brat Norton is this very controversial, and she loves it that way, TikTok creator who pushes a lot of conspiracy theories and brings a lot of like people's names into these stories and just sort of drags them through the mud without any evidence that they're involved with this Idaho 4 case, because that's the case that she focuses on, as like me.
Big Fox News energy.
Big Fox News energy. And so she's on this live with Brat Norton, and her real name is Sydney Alexis Norton, and this creator named Luna Noir, real name Alyssa McGrath, who lives in Chicago.
Okay.
Go fuck yourself. And so Samantha, I think you need to hear it to get the full effect, Sarah.
Lay it on me.
Mad about, like, I don't know, Dateline getting shit wrong about, like, claiming Brian Koberger is Papa Rogers. Like, that doesn't bother you? You're more obsessed with fucking clamoring on TikTokers who are just speculating. They're not Dateline. They're not CSNBC. They're not fucking anything. And
that's
you
kind of
are
point.
fucking more worried about a TikToker and hooking and duetting with their videos and chastising them and their looks and whatever, and claiming you're some moral compass because you're fugly. I mean, what? I just am like, are you kidding me? At least bring up the fact Dateline got shit wrong. But no, she doesn't do that. Instead, she fucking duets with people she doesn't like on here, and then just uses them for clout to say, you should believe me because I'm hideous.
Oh my God.
I don't like her.
Samantha. All right. Well, good thing there's only 67 people in here. All of you need to shut your fucking trap. All 67 of you, I will block all of you if this gets back to her.
So, Brat, in case you're listening, remember when I told you I have a full recording of this? And you were like, no, you don't. And I said, fucking bet. Fucking bet.
How would you not have a full recording?
How would I not? But this just, I'm warning everybody right now. I might go a little off the rails here. I might get a little cunty and use some bad words. Not about their looks. No. But I might get explicit here.
Okay. I'm prepared.
You're prepared.
Emotionally.
You egg me on. You egg me on.
I did?
So I don't know what she was thinking, because she's been on so many lives, and these live events on TikTok, you go on, it's live, and then all your people flood in and people start asking questions and you start talking to them and whatever. It's a live event. Now, many, many times this Brat Norton has gotten on these lives and either just shit talk people, or she's made claims about working with one of the victim's fathers.
Oh God.
Listen, she wasn't lying about there being messages between them, because there are.
Oh God.
However, she made it sound a little bit more than it was. And it just, this is one of those things that snowballed, and she gets so upset that people screen record her lives. It's like, I just don't understand why anybody does that. I'm like, translation, why do people have to hold me accountable for the stupid shit I do?
Right?
Fucking assholes. So she knows what's going to happen here. She just said it, right? Like, no one better tell her.
Well,
No?
that's probably why her camera's off too, I'm guessing.
Right. Now,
Yeah.
of course, people came and told me,
Yeah.
and I don't care about
As they should.
as they should have. And they're like, hey, she's being really nasty. You might want to get in there. And I said, what is she saying? And they said, well, she said this, this, and this, and that you attacked her looks. And that's when I was like, boop, I'm going in. I'm going in.
Because that doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make sense because I don't do it.
Because it never happened. Okay.
It never happened. And wait till I tell you what she actually. I think I might have told you, but wait till I tell everybody else what actually happened that she confused it for. So I go into the live and I'm like, I never attacked your looks.
Mm-hmm.
And Brat's like, watch. You know what? Again, let's play it. Let's roll the tape. Roll the fucking tape.
Because she's like, you're just doing this. It's just saying like because you look like this, and I'm like, what does my looks have to do with anything?
There she is. I can't. You guys are the funniest fucking people on the planet. I swear to God, that is how quickly this works. Like, oh my God, I cannot. It's fucking insanity. What is going on? Help me. Get me out of here. Oh God. Sorry. I can't. It's like someone says one thing about someone else and then all of a sudden someone runs and tells them and I can't. I can't. It's just, anyway.
What? Girl who claims more trustworthy because she's not good looking? What? I don't get it.
No comment.
Sarah, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
At any time, does it sound like she's stopped telling her to stop?
No.
Right. At any time, does this laughter sound like nervous laughter?
No.
Right?
I mean, not to me, but her camera is off. Am I correct in thinking that this is the point when you entered the chat and you wrote that never happened?
Yes.
Okay. And then at that exact point, Brat just like dissolved into gleeful giggles.
Like that, yes.
She was like, oh my God, I can't believe you guys. I hate drama.
I just can't. I can't. Really?
You can't what?
You can't what? Shut your fucking mouth? You can't. So, and notice how she said no comment.
Yeah.
No comment. So I'll play more clips about this as we go on. So,
but wait, hang on. So you're in the chat and they're just not even responding to your typed message either?
Right. And keep in mind, she had just been going on and on and on about how she wanted to debate me, which, babe, name it. I didn't get an A in that class for nothing.
I mean, that would be enjoyable to see.
It would be enjoyable to see. But she, I live in Buffalo. We bang our heads against the table or whatever. Like, let's do a debate.
And it shows.
And no, that's not an attack. That's not an attack on your looks.
It's not.
That's not an attack on your looks. But do you think they let me into the live? No, they did not.
Okay.
No, they did not. Miss, I want to debate you.
I had to think about it for a second because I wasn't even sure what that would mean. That would mean that you were on camera as well, yeah? Like yes. Talking with him.
Yeah, okay. But I would have my avatar not live, not on my face.
Okay.
So, shall we continue?
I guess. Take me on a journey.
Yes. In the red shirt.
I would appreciate it if she didn't pick apart other people. Like, just do your own thing. Like, why do you have to bring other people into it? It's just not nice. And then when they have a fucking regular, pragmatic, logical conversation with you, you block them instead of actually having a conversation, and then you tear them down because of what they look like. But yeah, you're considering yourself more trustworthy because you're not good looking? I mean,
what?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I have to say, Christian, for all the hateful videos and whatever you make about me, it's quite.
I'm going to stop there.
Yeah, you lost me.
like the hateful videos. Find them. Find the hateful videos.
Okay.
Because Sarah, I think we both know I can be very hateful if I wanted to be.
Sure.
Right. And you've watched everything. And yes, you're a friend of mine, so you're probably a little biased. Well, actually, no, you're not, because you'll tell me when I'm fucking up.
Uh-huh.
I don't think I've ever been hateful. Maybe towards Coco Briscoe, but she deserved it. She beat a woman.
I wouldn't even say you were hateful toward Coco Briscoe. I would say that you were vengeful.
Which is how I'm feeling.
Someone needs to be.
Someone needs to be, which is how I'm feeling now. And I need to make very clear, I can be one vindictive motherfucker if I want to be, and I want to be here.
Okay. Well, carry on.
And I'm going to be. Okay. And I don't just mean on this podcast, so you better buckle up, sweetheart.
What a special episode.
Yes, very special episode. So let's continue.
Okay.
Quite interesting that, that you claim to know how Ethan was laying when he was unalive.
How fucking stupid do you have to be? There was literally a picture, and you can see his outstretched arms and his hands, but whatever. You can see where's the position of his thumbs. You'd have to be a fucking idiot not to know that. And Brad is wildly stupid.
That with TikTokers, like, go after Dateline, who gets shit wrong. Like, what is the deal about going after
people don't like other people with strong opinions, and that.
Now, Sarah, would you say that I dislike people with strong opinions?
How long have we known each other, Kristen?
I know.
I'm trying to recall. I mean, it's been at least 10 years of, since we made our first casual acquaintance.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna be conservative and say we've been friends for like at least 7 years.
Yes.
And thus, no, I would not say that you dislike people with strong opinions.
Mm-hmm.
However, I would say that you dislike when people conflate damaging, potentially libelous statements with opinion.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
People like those people with strong opinions. They don't like that. So.
Well, there's a strong opinion on like actual mainstream media that got a lot wrong that you should go after.
Yeah, no, for real. The sheets did not come from Amazon.
Pause. I'm so sorry. Can you pause for a second? I guess here's the thing for me. And I'm not in this true crime community. I even said to you and probably on the pod, like, I gotta stop following the Idaho 4 case because I simply cannot tolerate this kind of thing. Just these fucking randos expelling words about nothing of any factual basis.
Yeah.
Like, no one's here for your fucking opinions. This is a murder case. It's not for your entertainment.
Well, hold on. Now, I give my opinions. I speculate.
Okay. Is it based on any kind of fact?
Yes, it's based on the PCA, the probable cause affidavit, and just like anything that's either confirmed or from a credible source. But even in those cases, I'm like, let's take this with a grain of salt.
So can we differentiate? Because words fucking have meaning.
Yep.
Can we differentiate between making an inference or an educated guess versus having an opinion? Because they're pretty different, especially in a murder case.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I might be guilty of both. To be fair, I don't know,
because I can't follow this in real time.
I get it. I understand.
For this exact reason. Okay, carry on.
Carry on, my friends. Here's a little more.
More credible. So she always comments on I don't do this. I don't do that. I'm so secure. I'm so this. Giving herself credence to her opinion about everything while silencing everybody else's. And you're full of shit. And when somebody puts up a pragmatic argument to your face, you block them. And now you go on here and then you say, oh, I don't block them. Yes, you do. You're a liar.
Are there any mods? No, I know we don't even have mods. This is Samantha's first.
Yeah. So keep in mind, while I'm in there, she's not commenting on my looks.
No.
Because this cunt waited until I left to continue. Because she's a tough girl. She's really tough, and she wants
that from her. Yeah,
right?
I'm getting that.
Well, she's like clearly fucking high out of her mind on something, smoking her vape. But here's the thing that really I want to get into. She's conventionally attractive. Brat's conventionally attractive. This Luna Noir, she created an AI photo based on her real photo that's like extremely conventionally attractive.
Well, AI does that for everyone.
I do. Yes, I do know that. I do know that. And
very complimentary that way.
Right. And so like no one's ever seen Luna, even though her photos are on her account.
Okay.
And so they think she looks somewhat similar to this, but a lot of people don't understand that AI like improves your looks. And I don't mean improves your looks. I mean, you know what I mean? Like it's a heightened version of your looks. Well, forgive me. That's not what I meant. Improved is not what I meant. And so these three women, two blondes, this brunette, conventionally thin, conventionally attractive, or at least they look that way in their photos. This is a classic example of the halo effect, where we assign certain attributes to people, but often based on their looks or their status.
Or we give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yes, over and over again.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on here. Now, this whole thing, I'm not going to go through the rest, but I will post it.
Because I do have time.
I have all of the time. Even though I don't have any time, I have all the time for this.
Yeah, sure.
So this gets posted. Of course, I find out about it. The next night, she has this blonde girl, not Samantha, Aquilina.
Okay.
Sydney Alexis Norton here. She had a live the next night, and someone was in the comments, and they brought this Samantha up, and someone in the comments said something to the effect of she called her a fat old lady.
Okay. Her being who? You?
Me.
Okay.
So Brat read the comment. And
did she giggle a little bit?
Okay. What she said was, see, Samantha can say things I can't. And she said this on this live too. So this is 2 lives now. So she said it. And, a bunch of people were on the live and a bunch of people laughed at it. Okay. All right.
What does can mean there? Just that Samantha's willing to say things that she's not?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Samantha's stupid enough to say things publicly that
Samantha's my little puppet.
Samantha's my little puppet, but that's exactly it. That's exactly it. And so once I heard about the second live, because I wasn't going to say anything, I was like, and at the time, I didn't know that I had only heard that she had called me like, I don't know, hideous or something, like maybe once. Or I heard 1 or 2 comments, like I think it was only one.
Which is pretty par for the course on the internet.
Right. And so I bailed. I was just like, I don't fucking care about this.
And
it wasn't until Saturday night when I got the clips. I got the whole clip and I watched it. And I just got enraged.
Well, Kristen, it is the official start of spooky season. So here we are.
Any witches in the audience? And it was over and over and over and over again. I played the compilation on my TikTok page, but you know what, Sarah? I'm a giver.
Oh my gosh. Do you have a remix?
I do. I have a remix of the greatest hits. Everybody, hang on.
That's amazing.
Is everybody ready? Everybody ready for the remix?
I don't know if I can be.
We're gonna do an actual remix. Don't worry, we're gonna post an actual remix at the end.
I'm excited.
Here we go.
Because of what they look like. But yeah, you're considering yourself more trustworthy because you're not good looking. I mean, I don't know. It's some curly haired fat troll.
Are her tits out or not?
What?
You have the stain in the mouth. She's pale. And saying, you should trust me because I'm hideous. Fuck off.
Oh my god. I'm laughing like a kid in a candy store because I know I'm going to get blamed for this somehow. Trying to convince others.
Your whole opinion is trust me more because I'm hideous. That's it. It's trust me more because I'm not good looking. Great. Thank you.
She's just going to literally, she'll post a screen recording of this and then she'll clip apart.
Trust me because I'm fat with curly hair. I'm this homely looking person, so you should trust me more because I'm so secure in my homeliness. Like, what? That's your argument? I'm not attractive, so you should trust me? That's not a fucking opinion. Some moral compass because you're Bugsley.
And that's not even all of them. That's not even all of them, by the way.
But in fact, that would be an opinion. It would not be an effective argument, but it would be an opinion.
Yes.
So try again.
My friend, try again.
And is she claiming that she somehow extrapolated that when in fact what you probably said was something more like, something about the halo effect, or like no one corrects people online with a lot of followers because they have
No, do you want to know what this is? What happened here?
Yeah, what is she responding to even?
I made a video about 2 or 3 weeks ago where I clipped a portion of her video. This is on my character analysis page. You can go see it.
Okay.
And she was talking about the unreliable narrator and comparing the surviving roommates of the Idaho case to an unreliable narrator. And I just said, this is a false equivalent. I said, this is a false equivalency, and I'm going to explain why. So then I pulled up a picture of Amy Dunn from Gone Girl. And I added a filter where like my eyes went into Amy Dunn's eyes and my mouth went into Amy Dunn's mouth. And I said, hi, I'm Amy Dunn.
And this is like a pretty widely used TikTok filter.
Yes.
It's all over the place.
Yes. So I said, I'm Amy Dunn. I've proved through my first person narrative that I don't have the tightest grasp on reality and that I'm vindictive, et cetera, et cetera. I'm an unreliable narrator. And I put a couple of other movie characters in, like Patrick Bateman and the guy from Sixth Sense, and I did the same thing. And I said, and then I took a picture of the surviving roommate. And I said, my name is Dylan Mortensen, a real person. You don't have a narrative for me because I never told one, and therefore I cannot be an unreliable narrator.
Right?
She took me using that filter as me making fun of her looks.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
And here we are.
She also conflated me with another creator who also corrects a lot of the misinformation. And we're both Italian. We both have dark curly hair. We both have very pale skin.
Someone say, and she's pale.
She's pale. So, all right. So I finally make a response video. It's very quick. And it was a picture of Brat with her double chin because she was on a live the next night. And she was like, oh, look at my double chin. Take a picture of it, blah, blah, blah.
So you were like,
Pet? I didn't
message
actually.
Received?
Somebody sent it to me. Somebody sent it to me because they knew she had been in that live. And I made a video. I'm like, hey, Brat. I'm like, remember when you called me a fat old lady in your live last night? And, hey, Samantha, do you remember when you called me a fat, hideous troll or clout chasing troll, whatever? And that was my response. And I was going to leave it at that because I was like, all right, I'm just letting you know I know. Just letting you know I know.
Does it seem to you like there's simultaneously all, well, I mean, I don't know about Luna. She's a non-entity. But at least two of these people are trying to argue, why do you have to correct us when we're wrong? We're just girls on the internet with opinions.
Right. Now, this live that I went into on Friday, it wasn't the people from the ones who were saying the nasty stuff. It was two completely different women.
Oh, and they're also saying,
well, I think they presented a very well-rounded argument.
Okay.
Right? Like they weren't, even though I'm friendly with the host, like she and I are friendly, she was very impartial, which I respected.
Sure.
You know, so I respected that. And this was something that I didn't used to get along with, because I used to make response videos to some of her stuff. And she was like, you know, you used to give me shit a while ago, and like, why would you do that? And I'm like, because I didn't like what you were saying. Like, that's it. I didn't like what you were saying, and you were going after a friend of mine, and I just didn't like what you were doing. And you were going after the roommates, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
So I'm in this live, and there really was like, I felt like I was really under fire. Now, Brat's in the comments. I'm in the box. Brat's in the comments. And Jenna, who hosts a live, she's like, Brat, why don't you come up? Why don't you come up? Brat wouldn't come up. And it wasn't, well, yeah, I was still in the box at this point. Brat would not come up.
Okay.
Because she's a chicken shit. Like, Brat likes to surround herself with people who are going to tell her she's right.
Well, that's TikTok in a nutshell. Yeah.
Right. Or she surrounds herself with people who will do the dirty work for her and go after people, anybody that challenges her, because she's a pussy. Sydney Alexis Norton. So, so Brat wouldn't come up. Brat would not come up, and I'm like, okay, good, because I knew she wouldn't. And then some other guy did a live yesterday, and Brat was in there, and he was talking to her about it, and they're friends. And people were like, he's doing a live about it, get in there and fucking say something to her. So I get in the comments and I said, bring me up. So she comes down out of the live. I go into the live.
Okay.
And yet again, like, I'm under fire. They're like, well, like, why do you have to make these videos and blah, blah, blah. Okay. And so this other woman who was in the live said, you know, like, but I think it's important to know that, you know, you did make all these videos. And I said, are you saying I deserve that? She's like, no, that's not what I'm saying. And in my mind, I'm like, yeah, it is.
That's maybe what she was getting at. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. That is what you're saying. You might not realize it, but that is what you're saying. And I took a step back and I examined the whole dynamic. And, you know, it kept being framed as mean girls, drama, you know, that stuff.
Sure.
And I said, Mike, let me tell, this is the guy who was hosting it. I said, Mike, let me explain something to you. This wasn't just someone making a petty comment. Like, if it was a petty comment, one or two, that's why I was willing to ignore it. Cause I was like, she's clearly fucking high. I don't care. I don't care. I said, but that's not what this was. I said, this was a 45-minute rant. And I said, now, if she were talking about any other marginalized community and she used slurs, or she used certain words to describe them, we would be calling this what it was, which was hate speech. Because this was hate speech. And of course, people in the comments who support this Brat Norton dipshit, and they're all either super conventionally attractive and supporting Brat, or they're women who you just know always wanted to be friends with the brats in high school.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's
the Samanthas, I think. Yeah.
No, not even the Samanthas. I'm talking about the awkward girls. You know what I mean?
The ones that did her homework.
Probably, yes. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Did her math homework for her?
Did her math homework for her. So I'm sitting there and I'm watching this, and I'm watching how the comments are like, well, she should start making videos about people, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm getting more criticism, and I'm significantly more under fire. Right. And I'm the person that was attacked. And the person who attacked me, she fucking dropped a bomb and she dipped. Like, no one's heard from her. Smart. You should really stay off the grid if I were you, Samantha.
Sure.
Aquilina.
Yeah.
And And they're not upset with Brat and Luna for encouraging it. And Brat's going, throughout every time someone brings it up, like anyone who does support me, they're like, you were laughing. She's like, it was nervous laughter. Like I told her to stop. And right? Right? Don't worry, because we'll post all this. We'll post all of it. At no time. And I feel very confident she had no idea that I had the full recording. And so she was saying all this stuff very confidently, thinking I didn't have the full recording. Whoops.
It's almost like it's her first day on the internet.
It almost is. Welcome to Earth, E.T. And so at no time did she stop her from saying what she was saying.
Yeah.
And yet I'm the one being attacked.
So this is the halo effect and the bystander effect.
It's the halo effect. It's the bystander effect. It's internalized misogyny.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's no different than what's going on with these surviving roommates.
Yeah.
You've got a guy sitting in jail because there's a fair amount of evidence against him that supports the belief that he murdered 4 college students in their sleep.
Right.
Brutally murdered them. And yet, a lot of that focus is on these 2 young 19, 20-year-old female roommates.
Yeah.
Make it make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, it does make sense to me. It makes sense because it's right. We know why.
Yeah.
We know why. And it's
a combination of things, but yeah, it makes sense.
It's the same thing here. See, Brat, conventionally attractive. Samantha, conventionally attractive. And let me be clear, I am in no way saying I'm not attractive.
No.
I've said it before. I got a great mix from my parents. I love what I look like because I see different members of my family every time I look in the mirror.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So I don't I'm not going to say that what she said didn't hurt me because
that would bother anyone because like you said, it went on for 45 fucking minutes.
45 fucking minutes and nobody said anything. Yeah. And you know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
You know how I feel about that.
I mean, it's really disheartening to see adults.
It's really disheartening to see, even in the comments, only one person said, "Oh, that's gross. Like, don't say that."
Yeah. But
she stuck around, and then the next day she showed up in this live that Mike had, or a few days later, and she defended Brat. Okay. And this is what I mean. And let's just say, like, this was the girl who did her homework in high school. And I'm like, I already know where this is going. Yeah. I already know where this is going. And
Kristen, isn't it interesting how when you first became an internet persona, everybody was like, you just need to soften your tone.
Right.
It's not that you're wrong. It's just on the delivery. And now, like, we just have devolved as a species to the point where people are like, well, you just shouldn't disagree with anyone.
Right. Right. And the Samantha even said, like, she speaks with such confidence. That kills you, doesn't it?
I mean,
it kills you that I speak.
Right, because you talk about facts.
But also, my father paid a fucking boatload of money for me to go to a school to teach me how to do that.
Well, that's true too.
Like that's what a communications degree is. That's part of it.
Thanks, Papa.
Thank you, Papa. And this really does come down to she's older, she's not conventionally thin, she's not conventionally attractive. So who am I going to side with? Who am I going to side with? I'm going to side with the blonde and the brunette who are conventionally attractive.
Well, and Kristen, you're fucking up the dopamine flow.
But this really is all of them. Everybody, well, you should stop making these videos. Well, you should stop doing this. One, I'm not going to do that. 2, like, just say, oh, you're ruining our fun.
That's totally what it is.
You're ruining our fun.
100% what it is.
We want to sit and talk about these 2 20-year-old girls who survived a mass murder because we want to say bad things about them because we think they're involved. Tell me why you think they're involved.
Because it's a good story. Because again, it's just all about the entertainment, right?
Right. Because do you agree? Can you believe that they slept for 8 hours? I'm like, hey man, I think that's questionable too.
Yeah.
But do I think college students shit-faced on maybe on something? Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they heard the yelling and they live in a fucking party house on Greek Row.
Right.
Do you know how often they probably heard yelling in that house?
At least once a night.
Right? Like, it's just not as simple. It's so funny how they'll be the first one to be like, it's not that black and white, except when it's black and white to them.
Yeah.
Right? Like, well, they didn't call 911. That means they were in on it. Well, no, they could have been passed out. Like, who knows?
Yeah.
In any case. So this whole thing happened and I'm watching this and I'm watching like, and I anticipated this. I expected this. And Brad just plays the victim every single time. Like, they're going to blame me. And she sounds really bothered by that, doesn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't she?
I'm going to get more attention.
Right? Because that's all this is. That's all it is for Brad. And that's why she posts this conspiracy theory bullshit. Is because...
I have a sincere question.
Yes.
And I don't mean this to be incendiary. I'm genuinely curious. How old do you think these people are? These 3 people?
Early 30s. Well,
okay.
Alyssa's like, I'd say late 30s.
Okay.
Brat's early to mid 30s, I would say.
Okay.
I mean, that's what she looks like to me. I could be wrong. But yeah. So I knew that this was I knew it was going to turn. I knew like her people were going to turn on me. Like I had plenty of people supporting me. I didn't worry about that. But this fucking guy, he gets on there and now he's going to insert himself because of course he is, because white men.
What was his stance?
He was just, like, I don't agree with Brett, and he made a whole TikTok about it and he got all upset because someone wrote a comment to him and said, hey, you are the company that you keep and you're friends with Brad. And why do you have such bad taste in women?
No notes.
And he got very upset at this. And that's when he decided to make a TikTok. And that was the first thing I said to him. I go, interesting. What compelled you to make a TikTok wasn't what Samantha said to me or about me. It was what some random internet stranger said about like the women you date.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that's interesting. That's what compelled you to make the video.
Mm-hmm.
Not the actual attack, but how it affected you.
That's what I'm hearing.
Right? Like
no notes.
No notes. This is
a fascinating cultural event. Truly. I feel like you could write at least 6 different dissertations on this. On the true crime community, on the real housewifeification of women's interaction online, on the halo effect.
Yeah. But this really,
my opinion is as good as your facts.
This is a perfect example of why online harassment of women is never taken seriously.
It is. Yeah.
And he kept saying it's Mean Girls and he kept talking about it in this manner.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, dude, that's not this is reductive. This is reductive.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this was hate speech. This was an attack. It was completely unwarranted. And you idiots who are trying to compare it to, well, you make TikToks and criticize her or clear up misinformation or whatever. It's not even on the same plane. And I know that you know that. And it's infuriating that people even have to say it to you because you're being intentionally and willfully obtuse.
Yeah.
Which
there's a lot of bad faith arguments happening.
Lots of bad faith arguments happen, which is funny because that's what Samantha said about me. She's like, she doesn't know how to have a good faith argument.
Oh, really?
Fucking have one.
She said that. So you said you don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah, make one. But this is what happens. They're automatically going to see it as not important, not hurtful. You know what I mean? And just because people, and just because you like add a disclaimer to something that says, listen, what she said was wrong, but no, it's what she said was wrong. No notes, full stop.
Right.
And the fact that like that even had to be explained and they just weren't getting it. None of them were getting it. None of them were hearing it. Yeah. So then again, just like in the other live Saturday night where Jenna said, "Hey, Brat, why don't you come up into the box?" Mike said to Brat, first he said to me, "Hey, could I bring Brat up here? And do you think you guys would talk?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." And he's like, "Brat, what do you think?" What do you think she said?
It sounds like she just clammed up and said nothing. What did she say?
No, she said, "Nope." I'll add the other reason why this really affected me.
Okay.
So, I don't talk about this. I've never talked about this publicly. This is only something I've really started to come to terms with, but, trigger warning, I have a binge eating disorder. And, I have gained a fair amount of weight, since COVID. And I am very, very self-conscious about it. And when this all happened last week, I would say I probably spent about $500 worth of food.
Yeah.
It wasn't good. It wasn't healthy. And that was the other reason why I spoke up about it, because I was like, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. And it was the first time that I went to like these true crime groups that I belong to. And I asked for help. Yeah. And I said, I'm going to post this video. Can you guys please just interact with it? And they, when they saw the video, they were like, holy fuck. And they all like, let's do a call. Let's like do a group call. And everybody was incredibly supportive. And that was what I needed, because we know how hard it is for me to ask for help.
Yes.
Right? I'm like, no, let me do all these 18 things myself and I'll get it all done today. And then I'll complain about how I'm tired. But it felt so good to have all these people just come together and to help me. It felt amazing.
Yeah, good.
So, so I had that and it felt good. And that I wanted to speak up, because it was just like, how are so many people okay with this? Like to watch how many people in those comments were desperately trying to make this my fault. Like, listen, you want to get in a live and call me a cunt? I don't care. I agree with you. I think that is a compliment. I don't care. You even want to like make an off the cuff, like, oh, like this is like this big fat girl, whatever. Like, I'm not crazy about it, but I'd overlook it. And I wouldn't even say
we don't love it.
We don't love it, but I'm not going to make a big fucking deal about it.
Yeah.
If you're going to go on for 45 minutes and talk about my hair and my face and my body, but also my character, I'm going to speak up about it. And like, of course I'm going to speak up about it. Especially,
and of course you're going to think about it. I mean, like I said, no one else endured this this week, right? But if you can have any empathy at all, I think it's easy to see that, like, how this just dominated your thoughts and feelings for several days.
Yeah. And I don't like to admit that, but it did. It did, because
how could it not? Anybody would respond that way.
Yeah, because of the eating. Like every time I ate, and the guilt I felt afterwards, and I just felt sick. Like, I don't want to talk too much about it because it might be triggering for some people. But it weighed on me. It weighed on me, and watching people go out of their way to try and try to justify blaming me.
Yeah, we don't love it.
Yeah, we don't love it, but I expected it. But it really is. It is the halo effect. And it really is. People will buy into whatever somebody says if they're conventionally attractive. Like, that's enough. That's enough for a lot of people.
It's certainly enough for people to want to keep watching them, right? And consuming their content.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Yep. And if you're going to do that, by extension, it's really easy to want to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. So that's it. Let me just reiterate. Sydney Alexis Norton, Samantha Aquilina, and Alyssa McGrath. So Brat Norton, Samantha Therese 6 on TikTok, Brat Norton on TikTok, Luna Noir on TikTok. Do feel free to let them know how you feel about it. Or don't.
Or
whatever.
enjoy continuing to not follow them, which is what I'm going to
do. Yeah, so there's that. Thank you for listening. This was probably disjointed. This has had quite an effect on my mental health for the last week.
It's been a week.
It's been a week, and I appreciate you listening. We'll get back to the regular show.
For sure.
For sure. We'll have a little nugget on Monday, but this was a very special episode, and we appreciate you. Thank you, Bog Witches. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you Monday.
See you Monday.
Bye.
Bye.